I'm Ian Henry here with Russ Farwell for another episode of Top Shelf with Russ Farwell. Russ, thanks for joining us. Fourth episode we've done. These have been quite informative and getting some positive feedback from fans that they like it. And I hear you're getting some feedback as well.
I am. Hope it's all positive.
Okay, we're going to focus this episode on Thomas Milic, our third-round draft pick in the 2018 Bantam Draft. Thomas is a goalie. First off, Russ, what did we like about Thomas to select him in the third round?
Well, we had Thomas ranked really high goaltenders in this year's pool, and we just thought in a lot of ways he was the best goalie available. So we were excited to get him there, and I think he's going to be a guy we're going to count on and get in place and count on being our goaltender down the road.
In the third round, when we picked him just before we selected him, I believe the Vancouver Giants took a goalie as well. That's goalies back-to-back. When a situation like that happens, when a team has a pick and a team in front of you takes a position that you like, is that more impetus to draft the goalie so that you get him?
Well, it does. It often starts, in every draft all the time. When a goalie goes, it often starts a run, kind of, because if you have that as a priority and you want a goalie and then it looks like teams are moving that way, it sometimes starts a run that way, and that often happens. But yeah, we like I say, we had him ranked very highly, so I think there was two goalies taken in front of him, and we thought if we didn't move then, there was no chance that we were going to be able to pick him, so that's what happened. When
you're scouting a goalie or making the selection of a goalie, do you watch a goalie different than you would watch a defenseman or a forward at this level? Are there certain things you key on when watching goalies, or that, at that level?
Well, because you're not confident. You're not as confident to be able to predict goaltenders, so we try and involve Ian and get him at different tournaments to look at. We try and identify the pool of goalies that we like, and then we get to our goaltending coach early and see if he can get out and see them play, and just to verify it. And that's really, and I think a lot of teams and a lot of scouts are just a little I don't think it's even unsure. They just aren't quite as sure of ranking and categorizing and projecting a goaltender, so they try and bring in goaltending expertise to give an opinion, and that's basically what we did as well.
Thomas played for Burnaby Winter Club, where Leland Mack, a scout for us coaches. Did Leland, being able to see him a lot, give us a good idea of Thomas's skills?
Well, yeah, more than that, Leland was a big fan and pushed, and we've learned since, after having him at camp, he's a real quality kid and focused, really good with what the coaches wanted this weekend in our camp, and made a real good impression. And that's pretty much what Leland told us. He's a real focus-driven guy, and he'll fit easily with our group and stuff. He's a real good kid.
We're filming this just after the Russ and the coaching staff and the hockey operations staff returned from our spring camp in Edmonton. How was the spring camp? We had 31 T-Bird prospects in there, Bantam class from this year, Bantam class from previous years, other prospects that have a chance to make the team coming up here out of training camp. How did the camp go, and what were your impressions?
Well, I was really happy with the camp. The guys had a great attitude. They were really into what we were doing, and I thought the coaches did a really good job going through everything. I watched Kyle prepare for a couple of weeks. I think he did every exercise that he asked guys to do ahead of time, and really prepared in detail for it. We had some real good input nutrition-wise, power skating skills, and then our workout program. So it was a real good camp, and I thought the guys really embraced it and worked really hard doing it, and it was ideal because it gives you a chance to see guys not so much in the gym. It's not a camp where you're evaluating the hockey, but you do see how guys embrace the work ethic idea and how they go after things and how they interact, and you can see who kind of comes to the top from a leadership standpoint. So it was a positive experience for us as a team and an organization. I think the guys really enjoyed it.
Thanks for the time, Russ. Appreciate it. Next episode of Top Shelf with Russ Farwell, we'll talk about Aiden Brook, our next Bantam pick.